Hi everyone, my name is Blair. The purpose of today's vlog is to analyse two exercises that are usually performed in the weight room, one being the back squat and the other being the chin up. What I hope to achieve with this analysis is to provide adequate feedback on how these movements are performed and differentiate if the individuals performing these exercises are limited by either lack of skill or capacity. The first individual to be assessed is performing the back squat. While this individual is not an experienced lifter, she is familiar with the back squat exercise. To initiate the descent, the individual bends at the hips and knees. When approaching the bottom of the squat position, curves the lower back. This is otherwise known as tucking or butt wink. While in some cases, this can be due to a lack of hip external rotation or ankle dorsiflexion. However, my diagnosis is that the issue derives from a lack of skill. My reason for this is because the knees are already tracking the toes, which are slightly everted. I know that the issue does not come from a lack of ankle dorsiflexion, and I'll explain to you why. This technique is being used to assess the athlete's dorsiflexion. The right foot is 11.5 centimeters away from the couch. While the most accurate results of this test come from measuring the angle of the ankle joint, I am still able to see that the athlete still has a decent range of motion. The test is being repeated on the other leg at 12 centimeters. This is why I have made the decision to influence how the athlete performs the back squat as a skill. Having previously discussed the individual's squatting technique with her, we realised that she is distributing too much weight into the back foot to the point where it feels like she can lift her toes. When asking the athlete to ensure that the big toe and little toe are being pinned into the floor in addition to the heel, this is the outcome. Having distributed the athlete's weight equally across the foot, we are no longer seeing any tucking, as the athlete is no longer overemphasizing the hips being sent backwards behind the heel, but we are seeing more emphasis placed on the downward movement. And this is allowing the athlete to sit on the back foot as opposed to behind it. This individual has never performed a back squat before. Therefore, I believe it would be sensible to see if the individual could perform the movement in its most basic form. Once I demonstrated the exercise to the athlete, she was then asked to perform the movement. We did not achieve very much depth. However, upon further analysis, I could see that the hips were internally rotated. This can be a common reason for restricting squat depth. After providing some coaching cues, we can now see the individual has addressed this issue. However, it has made no real change in squatting depth. Again, when we look at our ankle dorsiflexion test, the athlete's foot is placed 5 centimeters away from the target area. It is very clear to see that the ankle is much more restricted in this athlete in comparison to the other athlete. Just in general, by observing the joint angle, I can see that the individual cannot access a great degree of mobility through the ankle. This test is repeated on the other extremity at 4.5 centimeters. This athlete is trying to execute a chin-up. However, they do not possess the upper body pulling strength to get their chin over the bar. This is the result of a lack of capacity, since the athlete cannot generate the force required to perform a single repetition. This athlete is performing a chin-up. While the movement can be executed by getting the chin over the bar, the exercise is still being performed incorrectly. One of the benefits of performing the chin-up is that it can improve scapular stability. However, for this outcome to be achieved, full scapular range of motion needs to occur. As you can see, the way the athlete is performing this movement is with an anterior rotation of the scapula, meaning that full range of motion cannot be achieved. This likely derives from the exercise being performed incorrectly. Over time, perhaps the technique was used as a compensation strategy under fatigue, and the athlete adopted this behaviour as a force of habit. With small adjustments being made to the athlete's chin-up technique, the athlete is performing the exercise correctly. The athlete was asked to focus on sending the chest to the bar instead of concentrating on getting the chin over the bar at all costs. In conclusion, I used this vlog as an opportunity to describe the differences between movement limitations that occur through a lack of capacity and a lack of skill. I highlighted that a lack of capacity has been due to a lack of necessary training adaptations. This, for example, can affect both mobility and force. On the other side of the coin, I managed to demonstrate a lack of skill by offering coaching cues that either improve the way the skill is performed or resolving the issue completely.